Okay, the book that I will be talking about is Jo Nesbo is the author, and it's called The Bat. And this is the first book in the Inspector Harry Hole series. I have purchased a book, one of his books called The Snowman, and I figured out quickly that maybe I should read them in order, because you will get more like, why does this guy operate this way? You don't have to read them in order, but I want to read them in order because I'm just that kind of lady. It starts off a little slow, but then I like to call it the tipping point when things start happening. Okay, I'm going to have a disclaimer. This is a library book from a Chicago library, so I have 3 weeks to read it because there's a waiting list for it. So I was, kind of piddling along with it. Yes, I did say piddling. That's my grandmother's word. Thank you. I just, I couldn't, I'm like, why do people love these books? Because they love them. I'm like, when is it going to break wide open? And it did. I read the last 200 pages of this book in 48 hours. Because, in between sleep, work, what have you, I read this book. It got to a point where it was just like, I was reading like this. Like pages were just going by. It's about this, Harry Hole is this inspector from Oslo, Norway, and there is a death of a popular Norwegian, I want to call her actress or TV host in Australia. So Harry Hole goes to Australia to figure out what's happening, because there was a note left and it's in Norwegian, so the Norwegian embassy wants the best inspector to come, like, translate it and work it from the Norwegian aspects. Maybe they can find the killer. Maybe they're missing something in Australia because, I can put the book down. Maybe they're missing something in Australia because of a loss of translation. Let me tell you something. So Harry Hole goes to Australia via Norway. What makes him a good inspector, and probably why the series is happening and so popular, is because he's so flawed. He's so flawed. And that makes him more human. It isn't like a Agatha Christie where she's, I don't want to call it like a know-it-all, but he's flawed and he does things wrong and, not always by book. So that's what makes him enjoyable. And then they give you the history of why he's so flawed. So kind of like a psychological analysis. And another character in this book is the city of Sydney, Australia. He really did his research about Sydney, Australia, the Aboriginal people. That plays a heavy part in this murder mystery, and just their legends and how they view life and, everything is very, very detailed, extremely detailed. And that brings me to this point of view or opinion. I think the Scandinavian writers, I guess Scandinavia countries are Denmark, Sweden, Norway, I think maybe Finland, but let's just stick with Denmark, Sweden, Norway. They write very intelligent mysteries. Like, they don't dummy anything down. Like the writer Stig Larsson, or Stig, who did the Millennium series with Lisbeth Salander. You have to bring yourself up to the level of the novel. They are who they are. The characters are who they are. No apologies about it. That's why Lisbeth Salander was such a good, character. Like, she is who she is. And isn't that how most of us operate? Like, it is what it is. So, yeah. The murder mystery, it's like they think they're going after one type of person, but with each, this person continues to murder while he's in Australia. And they think they're looking like a profile of one type of person, but with every murder they're realizing, oh, then that X's out the person we thought it was. Like, and it wasn't until like the last 50 pages, like, I was totally blindsided by who really was the killer. Like, really? Oh, it takes you through, like, oh, we thought it was him, and it's looking like him. Everything adds up to it being him, but it's not him. Oh. And sometimes you have to really, like, with each murder, it's like, it's cryptic. You gotta unravel, like, each murder was giving clues to who was really doing it, but there was so many, like, coincidental factors that made, like, a lot of people look like suspects. So, yeah, I'm really liking this Harry Hole series. The first one is The Bat. It just was released in America at the top of July. The second one in the series is called The Cockroaches. I don't even like saying it, like, oh, cockroaches. I don't think it's been released in America, but I really like this writer. And this is his first book in the series, so each book, I think there's like 10 of them, so each book will probably get better. Because this one, like I said, was pretty slow to begin with. But, yeah. That is the book I read, The Bat. I think I'm going to slow it down a bit because this was fast-paced. I think I'm going to just read a Jodi Picoult novel and then do a video about, like, what I think about Jodi Picoult. Because people are usually on one side of the camp with her. And so, yeah, I will talk to you later. Bye.